for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Communion Sunday. And today I am bringing you jackfruit. So, jackfruit is a very large fruit. It's about 3 feet long. It weighs somewhere around 100 pounds, give or take. And it's something that was originally grown in the rainforests of India, but now they grow in a lot of the tropical climates. So you might see it in the Philippines, and Thailand, and Brazil, and Africa. They kind of have it all over everywhere now. And the reason the picture says the other white meat is because this is what a lot of vegans use as a meat substitute in a lot of the dishes. Um, Now, there's two types that you can get. Now, the ripe jackfruit is sweet. It's a fruit and it's very sweet. When you get it when it's underripe, that's when you can use it as a meat substitute. And that's what I have here in this can. Now, some of the benefits of jackfruit is that it is high in fiber, so it'll help with constipation issues if you have those. It also has the chemical properties in jackfruit can actually help with ulcers. In addition to that, if you are diabetic, it's a slow release, so it doesn't boost your blood sugars like most food would. So it's slower on that for you. If you have high blood pressure, it can help because it's got good amounts of potassium. If you have skin problems, there's the vitamin C. It has photonutrients in it, which some studies say that that actually helps prevent cancer. In addition to that, it still has all the antioxidants and other vitamins in it, just like most fruits and vegetables do. The only thing you want to be careful of is if you have birch pollen allergies, you might want to be careful with the jackfruit because you may have an allergic reaction to it. And that's typically when like your lips are swollen or you get that itchy mouth, things like that. And sometimes usually it's from like apples, carrots, celery, cherries, hazelnuts, almonds, things like that. So if you have an allergy to things that causes a birch allergy to it, then you want to stay away from jackfruit. But other than that, it's a delicious substitute. I know a lot of people in my family, they love it. They didn't know what it was at first, but once I told them and introduced them and cooked it for them, they really enjoyed it. And the way you can use it, you can substitute it for chicken. You can substitute it as like a pulled pork. What else? They've done it for beef. I actually made a beef stew with it one time. So it's different ways you can do it. And I'm about to show you how to do it. So let's get started. So like I said, I have this one in the can. It's organic young jackfruit. Okay. This one I believe I got at Whole Foods. But you can pretty much readily find it in a lot of your, I don't want to say all your grocery stores, but in some of your grocery stores. Like Meyer and Kroger doesn't have it. But like I said, Whole Foods does. So you just want to look and see. If you can't find it in any of those places, you can go to the Asian market. So I just strained it, and now I'm just rinsing it off. Make sure your hands are clean too, because this is a touchy fruit. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay. And if you can see, let me rest it there. And if you can see, there are fibers in it. And once those fibers get pulled apart, it's like shredded meat. See that? And this is why it's used as a substitute, a meat substitute. Okay? Now, I'm not going to do anything fancy with this. We're just going to keep this whole and make nuggets out of. So I'm going to add this to the bowl. I'm going to put this in the big bowl. Now, you don't have to season it. You could just take it from here and do whatever you're going to do with it as far as flour it or something like that. Another thing you can do too, if you want to add flavor to it and kind of soften it up, because the rind part down here is a bit hard. And one of the ways you can get around that, why it's flying on me, one of the ways to get around that is to simmer it. Okay. And I wasn't going to, but I think I will simmer it. Just because, like I said, this can be hard sometimes. Like this one is really soft. Actually, these are pretty soft, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to simmer it, just for time-wise. Yep, just for the time of the video. But you would simmer this in like a broth. Sorry, my screen keeps wanting to go out. But you can simmer this in the broth or just simmer it 20 minutes in some seasonings, whatever you want. This is a broth that I use a lot of times, especially with the jackfruit. It's a vegan chicken broth. Okay. It doesn't say vegan, it just says chicken flavored broth, but this is one I get at the Asian market. It tastes a lot like chicken. And so I'll put this in some water and along with some other seasonings and simmer the jackfruit for about 15-20 minutes just to soften it up. And then you can strain it and then shred it, do whatever you want with it. Okay. If you don't want it to have a chicken flavor, then just find some other flavorings that you like. You know, just cook it plain, season it up, cook it, and then put some barbecue sauce on it. Now you have pulled pork. Or you can put it in place of beef stew. Okay, so instead of the beef stew chunks, you can use the jackfruit, just like it is. Rinse it off though, drain it and rinse it, but straight out the can, just like this. So, like I said, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season this up, and then I'm gonna fry it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. So, I'm gonna turn my oven on. My oil. So I got that on while I'm seasoning this up, and we're gonna make the flour and stuff to go with it. So this comes with a nifty little spoon. That doesn't always work right, but I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, so I've used that. I got some garlic powder here. Use as much as you want, whatever seasonings you want. I have some Creole. So what is this? Tony's Creole seasoning. Some onion powder. And here it is. My cayenne. Y'all know I love my cayenne pepper. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss this. All right, now that's tossed. Now for the flour. And I'm debating as I'm talking to you guys if I'm gonna do a batter. I'm really debating on that. So I just got some white flour. It's just regular white flour because that's what I had. And a little bit of cornstarch. I'm gonna batter it. So I'm gonna put the cornstarch over here. The cornstarch will help the batter stick. That's why you see a lot of them using that in the and coating the fruits and vegetables with it because it helps it stick. And then this is just some rice flour. That'll help it get crispy. Now, since I'm going to batter this, get me another container, and I'm going to use chickpea flour. So because I'm not going to use the egg, I'm going to use some chickpea flour. All right. And get me a whisk and some water. Okay, so this is a... Woo, sorry, seasonings went up my nose. This is sparkling spring water. So it's a little carbonated. So I'm going to use that because it'll also help with the crisp. And I'm going to let this sit because it's going to take a second for the chickpea flour to... Oh, sorry, y'all. Woo. Y'all know that happens sometimes when seasonings go up your nose. But anyway, so that's going to be that. Always season your flour as well. Because that's how you get nicely seasoned food, is if you season the flour as well. If you notice, I'm not using any salt. And the reason for that is there's salt in this and there's salt in this. So that's enough salt. I know we as black people, I know we tend to overdo it with the salt. Overdo it with the seasonings, not necessarily salt. I think I'm going to put some Mrs. Dash in this too. So it's just the original Mrs. Dash. I'm going to put it in the flour. Again, no salt is in this either. All right, so that's my flour. I got my mock egg. And then I got the jackfruit. So I just got to coat it now with the cornstarch. All right. And then we're just going to wait for the fire. Now, one way, a quick way, an easy way, is if you have a chopstick, or if you're going to use one of the fryers that have the wooden handles on here, you can put the wood in here. And once you see the bubbles bubble up around the wood, that's when you know your fire is ready. Okay? So I am still waiting. Hasn't bubbled yet. So I'm still waiting on that. So I'll be right back once the fire. Okay, so I'm back. My fire is, the oil is almost ready, but I knew I was forgetting something, y'all. I forgot the hot sauce. So typically I use Frank's, but this is, my son works at Aldi, and so this is the Aldi brand. So you can put the hot sauce in there to taste, and then some mustard. And this is going into the batter. I know I was forgetting something. And this is the same batter I use if I'm making like cauliflower, fried cauliflower, or any other vegetable that I might fry. If I'm making a batter, this is typically it. Okay? And then you can see this is what the chickpea batter look like. Okay? So nothing fancy. Put that back in there. All right. Now, let me clear this away, and I'm going to bring you closer so you can see me fry it, okay? So I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. My fire is ready, and if you can see what I was talking about with the wooden piece, you see how those bubbles start coming up? That means that oil is ready. So I'm taking the jackfruit. I'm just going to dip it in the flour and in the chickpea. Sorry you can't see this. And then back into the flour. And then we fry. Okay, so I'm going to just keep doing this. Now you can do this and put this in the air fryer as well, but I'm using oil. Out this kitchen. So, yeah, I'm not one of those. I don't let my pets in the kitchen when I'm cooking. One, it's unsanitary, and then two, they could get hurt. Especially if you're cooking and you're moving around and stuff, and they get in the way, and next thing you know, you drop something on them and they get hurt. So to avoid all of that, I just don't let my pets get in the kitchen with me. Okay, so it doesn't take very long. As soon as it gets a golden brown, you can, this fire might be too hot too. Just start flipping it. Now, as far as the oil that you use, you want to make sure you use a high temperature oil to fry in. Never use something like olive oil to fry your food in. Olive oil is a sauteing oil, so it's not a high temperature oil. It's one that you would use for a medium low heat. You might want to say low medium to low heat. Other oils that you can use to fry with would be like canola oil, corn oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil. Those are ones that are okay for you to fry. Other than that, you want to use, like I said, the olive oil is really just to saute with. It's not for frying. So I'm just dumping the rest of this in the batter so it can be fried. And then see here, these are like the little pieces I was talking about. You see how these little pieces come apart? Now I can mush these together because the cornstarch and cook it as a little nugget. But it separates and will shred, so that's how you can use it for other stuff. Like I said, like a pulled pork or shredded chicken or something like that. Just put that one right there. And then the beauty of it, when you are dealing with something like jackfruit or any other vegetables or fruits, you don't have to worry about the salmonella contamination, and it just makes cooking your food and dealing with your food a lot safer and a lot easier. No, I'm not telling y'all all become vegan, because I told you I'm not 100%. I'll still have fish from time to time. I still have cheese from time to time. If my body is really craving something, then I have it. Okay, so if I've been 2 weeks and I'm still craving, something, then I'm gonna go ahead and get it, because I feel like my body is telling me it needs something from that. And if I can't find an alternative for it, then I just have it. Um, so these are done, nice and golden brown. And you don't have to worry about undercooking it, because again, it's a fruit. I probably should have used some different oil now that I think about it, because I don't know what my son cooked in this. But I was trying to hurry up for y'all. Yes, I'm going to blame y'all. But you see, it doesn't take very long, because this isn't edited. This is just what it is. Okay? It doesn't take very long to cook. Okay, so that's another little piece that fell off. And like I said, I just put it in the batter, then I put it in the flour, and then I'm dropping it in there. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get all these pieces in here, because it's not that much left. This is just as simple as it is, as it comes. And you can use this in place of like a nugget. So you can make a sandwich out of this if you wanted to, or just eat it with some ranch or whatever, however you want to have it. It's your world. Just washing my hands. Trying to clean up my mess some. Yep. Like I said, you can see it doesn't really take a long time. So y'all might hear the vent on, or the fan over the stove. And that is because anytime I use a cast iron to cook in, whether it don't matter what we do, our fire, the smoke detector will go off. And what's funny about that is when something is actually burning and I need to be told to come in here and get it, the smoke detector don't do nothing. But let me pull out this cast iron and it's gonna go off every single time. Every single time, y'all. Why is that? Somebody explain that to me. And like I said, if you don't want to fry these, you can put them in the air fryer. You can throw them in the oven. Um, but like I said, I'm frying them. And like I said, it doesn't take long. You're just waiting on it to get a golden brown. And then once it's a golden brown, then you can take it out. See how good this look? Don't it look like chicken? Don't it look like chicken? There's been times I made this too, and people who didn't know it wasn't chicken until they got to the big chunk pieces like this. But like if I shred this in something, because it has that flavor, they can't really tell. And if you are a cook, I'm sure you heard your mama tell you this several times: clean as you go. Okay, clean as you go. So wipe your counters and stuff down, wipe the stove and stuff down, do all of that as you are cooking. All right, another minute or so and this should be done too. Just don't want these smaller pieces to burn. And like I said, I do the same way. I did this is the same way I do like if I make cauliflower. And then you can take this and you can coat it with different seasonings. So if you want like a lemon pepper, you can do that. If you want barbecue or buffalo or something like that, you can do that with it as well. Take that one out, take this one out. And then like I said, you also don't have to worry about it being overcooked or undercooked because it's fruit. But this is jackfruit. But this is jackfruit. Now I will have the links below for WebMD, which is where I get the information from. I like going to WebMD because not only will they tell you the benefits, but they'll tell you what to watch out for as well if there's something you need to be careful of. But you can do your own research to see what jackfruit looks like. Um, if you want to get the fresh jackfruit, sometimes the Asian markets have it already cut up, and you can you can get it already cut up and get the fresh one. Again, if it's yellow, that means that it's ripe and it's going to be sweet, and you don't want to use it in cases like this. Um, Unless you're making like a pulled pork or you want something sweet, like a sweet dish, then yeah, you can probably still use the jackfruit like this. But if you don't want it sweet and you want it to taste like a meat, then you want to make sure you get the young jackfruit. And it'll come in a brine, which is really just like some salt brine, or I've been able to find it a couple of times in just some water. All right, so that's cooked. I'm gonna move you guys back and show you what we got. Okay, guys, so I'm back, and like I said, this is a jackfruit, nice and cooked. Look like real nuggets, don't it? I'm telling you, this is so delicious. All right, okay, mm, good. And to be honest, I got some barbecue sauce here, but to be honest, you don't need anything with it. And like I said, mm, y'all just don't understand. This is so good. But like I said, you can use this in place of chicken. You can use it in place of beef. You can use it in place of shredded pork. Like, it's so versatile because the flavor of the jackfruit, the young jackfruit, before it actually ripens, is such a mild flavor that you can basically season it to flavor it like anything you want. I think I've even seen somebody use it for fish. Like they made fish out of it using like nori seasonings and stuff. I know it's a guy that I watch a lot. His name is Saucy Stash. Saucy Stash. I think that's what it is. But he used jackfruit along with some wheat gluten and made a steak out of it. And then the steak ended up with these same fibers. Okay, so again, that's what it looked like on the inside. Once you bite into it, y'all see that steam because it's hot. But like I said, most people in my family, I think it's only one person in my family that doesn't like it, and that's my oldest one. But everybody in my family who's had it, who I made it for, they all enjoy it. Um, mm, I don't think my uncle liked it either. It's hot, y'all. I'm sorry, but it's hot. But my mom enjoys it. My dad enjoys it. My sister, my niece's girlfriend, my nephew. He ate it and didn't know what it was. That's the one who ate it and didn't know what it was. I had some family from down south that came up here and tried that fruit. They liked it. I've used this to make almond chicken and in China when I make Chinese food. So I made some vegetable fried rice and I made the jackfruit as an almond chicken fillet. Like I said, it's versatile, so it's endless. I've done it in beef stew. Um, what else have I made with this? I done in beef stew. I use it in my Mexican cooking. So like if I want a chicken tortillas or not tortillas, but chicken flautas or chimichanga or tostadas. Like I use it. This is it's so versatile and it tastes so good. And like I said, you can season it to make it taste like whatever you want. So anyway, like I said, this is jackfruit. Check for it in like your Asian markets, or if you have a Whole Foods near you, or some store like that, like Better Health, something like that. They'll probably have it in there. Kroger and Myers, and you know those larger chain stores, not so much. I think Whole Foods is the only chain that I've seen it in. But like I said, if you have an Asian market near you, you can get it from there. You can order it off of Amazon. Like you can find it. You can find it. But like I said, it's very delicious, and you see this look like a chicken nugget, okay? Like a nugget, and the flavor is so good. I don't call it a chicken nugget just because it's jackfruit. And when you start calling things by associating it with stuff that people are already familiar with, that's when they end up not liking it because they're expecting a certain flavor from it. And if they don't get that certain flavor, then they don't like it. So I don't call this chicken. That's why I said the other white meat. Because again, you can make it, you can season it to flavor it however you want. But in the end, it's still jackfruit. So I'm not gonna call this chicken nugget. These are some jackfruit nuggets, okay? It just happens to look like chicken. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and share because if you got something out of it, chances are somebody else will. And next time you see some jackfruit, pick it up, try it out, and see what you think. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.